Okay, this is video 3. Try to correct this here a little bit. Video 3. Okay. We did an intro video. We did a pack overview discussing some possible options for you. If you have any questions, say you're thinking about something and you want my opinion on them, whatever, you can send me a picture and ask me your question. No problem. I'll give you my opinion. Okay, on a pack. Yeah. So in this one, we're going to talk about stuff to put into your kit, right? We're going to talk about stuff to put in your kit. Now, when we're driving on the road, we know we're going to go to work, or we know we're going to go to school, or we got some destination in mind, and then we know how to get back home, as we've driven that route probably many times. Now, so we're going to talk a little bit about navigation here. Everybody's situation is not going to be the same. There's going to be a lot of people will have different situations. So navigation is where we're going to start. And the basic things that you will need for navigation to get home are going to be a map or maps, depending on your situation, and a compass, just a basic compass at the least. Okay. In general, I like to have a compass, a regular compass, either a base plate or a lensatic is fine. And then I will generally want something small, like a watch band compass, or something that's I could do a quick look at without a lot of messing about. Options on your navigation are going to be a GPS. If you have a GPS, you may want to keep that in your get home bag, in a Faraday bag, okay, in case of, say, EMP, right? Another thing with your navigation, a lot of people don't consider this a navigation item, but you have to be able to see. If you're moving at night, you got to have lighting. So you want to have a minimum of a headlamp with red light capability. And then you want to have possibly a backup light, just as a for instance, any type of a AA or AAA light that's very water resistant and also has the ability to have a red lens. Okay, so that would be your backup. And when it comes to your maps, you want to have some road maps, and if you can, have a topographical map of your area. So you would say area of operations, but at the same time, this is a get home civilian bag. So, you're just your area, right? Where you generally are roaming. Keep in mind, navigation, if there's an EMP, it knocks out a lot of cars. A lot of cars are full of electronics now. If it knocks out a lot of cars, navigation by road may only be able to accomplish on foot bicycle, and those sorts of things, right? So, when we talk about navigation, if we do have a GPS, okay, and we have it somewhat protected in a Faraday bag, then we want to have home already pre-programmed into it, so that if a situation arises that you have to go home, then you can have that already in your GPS, and hopefully when you turn it on it will work. If it does work, you can use it in combination with your map and compass, okay? Now, one way to save GPS batteries is going to be to use it, as I said, in conjunction with the map and compass. So, if we're in a rural environment, we're not out in the boonies somewhere, we're generally going to be looking at streets and buildings and things like that for our navigation, right? But if we have our home programmed into it, at any given time we can turn the GPS on and we can find that bearing, okay, our azimuth, to home, right? And then we can just look at it on our compass, dial in our compass, and then that will face us where we need to go in a straight line if we can. And if we can't, then we just need to use that in combination with our street maps to navigate around things, and then maintain, you know, kind of like a dead reckoning. Yeah, we're going in that that general direction is where we need to go, right? So that is something that you need to keep in mind, that you can use the GPS sporadically to try to keep you on course, okay? You turn it on, check the bearing to home, or your azimuth, whichever term. That a lot of times those are interchangeably used. Land Nav, you're going to use azimuth, okay? I generally would say azimuth, but so many people use the term bearing these days that I'll tell you bearing. But that's, you know, that is the direction you need to be going. So you turn it on, check your azimuth, turn it off, stow your GPS back in your pocket, okay? And then maintain your direction the best that you can. You know, you're gonna, you know, it's that way in general, and you may have obstacles to go around, okay? So just keep that in mind. You also may have to navigate around bad people, okay? So think about that. These are other things that you need to think about. It's not everybody is going to be a good guy. You automatically assume that they're a bad guy until you've ascertained the situation, okay? So automatically assume that they're bad until you've ascertained the situation, and then move on from there, okay? So with your maps, you want to be familiar with your maps. So a map, you want to be able to pull it out, and you want to be able to orient your map, okay? And that means that you're going to look at what's around you, and then you're going to look at your map, and then you're going to line it up to where the map coincides with what you're looking at. Alright, that could be a street. You could be standing in a street corner of Joe Blow Avenue and Sasquatch Avenue. You know, it could be that intersection, Sasquatch Avenue with Joe Blow Avenue. That could be where you're at. Find yourself on the map, and then you plot your course from there, right? The best course available to you. So the maps are very important. A map actually tells you where things are. A compass helps you to get to those places. Okay? Keeps you in the right direction. Those things you have to learn to trust. And you have to get out and use them. You need to get out and practice using those things. So, that's going to be your basic navigation. And please keep in mind that all of this stuff is geared towards the everyday man and woman. And it's not geared towards... it's not just geared towards, say, military or former military or anybody that has any knowledge of this stuff already. It is, all of this is going to be geared towards the average person, okay? Because the average person needs to get home alive also, right? So they're going to be the basics on the navigation. If you have questions, you can always feel free to drop me a line, and I will answer you as soon as possible. So we'll come back. We'll talk about another subject on this. I'll see you there.